I don't know about you, but the older I get, the more I realize how precious time is, and I don't want to have a day go by that I'm not doing something to either help myself or those that I love. So the timing is good for me because Dr. Tim deRoos is back on the show this morning with Infinite Health Centers up in Cleveland. Good to see you.
Good morning, Julie.
And I think that's probably, first of all, a common feeling that most of us have as we tend to get older. You realize how quickly time goes by, right? Mm-hmm. And that you want to be the best you can be. And that's everything from mental and spiritual, but physical as well.
That's right. And I was just sharing with you, this week, I had a lot of good dialogue with patients that have come in for the free consultations, and they have been expressing that they can almost sense the course of their health fleeting from them more quickly. And a lot of people are motivated to do something about it right now. I mean, I had the biggest week this past week that I've had in 3 years. So people they're taking notice, they're acting.
Some people might be seeing you for the first time. So if he is a new face to you, let me help you kind of set the stage. So at Infinite Health Centers, it's just that. I mean, infinite means never ending, right?
That's
right. So you're helping people kind of conquer primarily eating habits, but it's very personalized to get to their optimum health. And the weight they lose, most of your clients are surprised at how easy it is and how quickly it comes off.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm glad you said optimum too, because that's one thing I talk about regularly with patients is the reason I named it Infinite Health is because you set the bar, how high you want to set it, and you set the course for how quickly you get to your goal. The bottom line is taking that step. I had a conversation with a lady just yesterday, one of my last of the day, and I had to tell her, I said, I think you've almost waited too long. Nothing's impossible, but don't wait any longer. The bottom line is make the call, get started right now.
Why did you say that? That doesn't sound like something you would say. That's a pretty big statement coming from you.
This individual, and it's not, thankfully it's not the norm, or it's not what I see as typical. This person had been she'd undergone a lot of surgeries, and she had been under some pretty intense and high quantity drug therapy. And when someone's under that regime for a long time, it takes a toll on the body. The liver has its limits. So that's what I was going over with her. I wasn't painting a picture of hopelessness by any means.
Okay.
But I was sharing with her, saying, now, you need to take this very seriously.
Because other interventions that she's done in the past were going to be handicapping her, basically, from achieving the health she wants.
They don't work along the lines of our body's design.
Well, let's talk about that, because that's really the philosophy, and you can't have this conversation without touching on the emotional component, and philosophy is tied right in with our emotions. So you've brought some of your clients on to share their success stories, and they're pretty remarkable. Many of them, if not all, have been taking medications, often for type 2 diabetes, things like that. They're medication free now.
Yeah,
right?
Hypertensive medications, statin drugs, insulin, metformin, a lot of the sugar handling drugs that are quite common out there. And a lot of the people that folks are seeing on our commercials here, they're no spring chickens. They're 55 or plus. And I did that on purpose because I hear time and time again people, when they come in, they say, well, I saw that person. If they can do it, I can do it, surely.
Right.
Because I'm the same age or I'm younger.
So you mentioned the free consultation as we're kind of talking, and we've got more to talk about. But that is where it all starts, is people can kind of come in and ask their own questions of you, right?
Right. And I had a confirmation of that yesterday. I had a lady come in, and we were having a great dialogue. And I said, this is exactly the reason why I do these consultations, because it helps me navigate what the most appropriate service is for you, because it's not cookie cutter. When someone comes to see me, I filter through their health related questions and I ascertain what the best course is for them, because not everyone gets the same supplements, not everyone gets the same time frame, not everyone gets the same food plan.
A lawyer, if you go see an attorney, will say to you, I understand your concern, but I don't think there's enough evidence here for me to take your case, right? I don't want to waste your time and money because I can't win your case.
Right.
Do you ever have times with people who come in and you say, I would love to help you, but I don't think you're mentally there yet?
Yes, that's a great point. And I don't burn bridges. So I say part of my scripting to an individual is, hey, look, I don't pass judgment. If you're not ready here and in your heart, then no no problem. Take our card and you call us when you
Right.
are ready.
Because it is a partnership. They
It
have to be
is.
in.
You have to be invested in yourself. You have to come up with that motivation. I can't do it for everybody.
What about the importance of your support system? Like if it's a wife doing it, her husband needs to be in on the plan.
It's almost like you've been in my room listening.
It's a logical question.
It is. I do. I ask everyone that. I say, who's at home with you? Are they supportive? Would they be an obstacle or a barrier? And those are real questions that need to be handled on the front side, because, you know, why invest this kind of money into oneself or time and effort if you're going to have obvious obstacle in the way?
I can hear people at home saying, yeah, but Julie, what is it? What is this plan that you're talking about? So basically, you teach people how to eat, and then through the process, you have the supplements that you mentioned to add in when needed. But does it start a lot with just Xing things off of your typical grocery list?
That's part of it. You know, to break it down, honestly, when someone comes in and I develop a plan for them that's individualized, we get started right away. We start going through what foods nourish the body, what foods support its detoxification, what foods support its healing. It's, you know, you can have someone who's in a little bit of trouble or somebody who's in a lot of trouble. If someone's in a lot of trouble and their house is on fire, so to speak, you send the fire engine first. You don't send the carpenter in.
Right.
So there's an order to how the body repairs itself and comes back from a crisis.
Do you promise sort of a typical weight loss, like you're going to see 4 pounds in a month or anything like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I tell women in particular, men are wild cards. I tell women in particular, an average is 7 to 15 pounds per month for women.
Wow.
That's an average.
And I don't think we mentioned this before I let you run back up the road. It's non-exercise based, right? It's not a requirement.
Right. I encourage it wholeheartedly. It's especially for the cardiovascular benefits and the conditioning benefits. But it's also great for stress reduction, and it's great for sleep patterns. But no, it's not required. You'll do better if you have an exercise regimen and time frame that I oversee, but it's not required.
Do most people stay with you for about a year?
No, it can range anywhere from 3 months to 12 months.
But you develop a pretty strong bond over that time?
In fact, that's one thing I kid people about. If someone needs to lose a lot more weight and they're on a 10 to 12 month plan, I'll say we're going to almost be like family after a while, because we get down to the nitty gritty, and people love it. No, I don't find too many people that shy away from it. People come in and bare their souls to me all the time.
Yeah,
so.
you're a part therapist, I'm sure,
Absolutely.
by the time all is said and done.
Yeah, that's right.
So here's where you'll find him if you want to go. Again, that initial consultation is at no charge to you. Come with your own list of questions and a little skepticism if you have it. He knows what his plan is, and he's happy to talk to you about it as long as you have. So the website is called losethefats.com. Phone number up there on Sunset Drive in Cleveland is 813-7575. Always good to see you.
Thank you, Julie.